and welcome to episode 90 of the MastoCast. We're 10 away from the big 100. Welcome on in. Hope you were doing well. Hope you're having a lovely weekend on the Friday that this comes out. Welcome to the MastoCast. If you don't know what this bloody podcast is about, it's essentially me attempting a mono blog type thing. I just talk about what I've been up to, games I've played, music I've been listening to, bands I've seen, all that sort of lovely shit. And I speak about it all on here for you to listen to. And yeah. And I just hope that you all enjoy it very much. But yeah, welcome on in. It's starting to cool down a bit at the moment. It's starting to cool down, which is nice. And yeah, it's starting to be a bit more. I'm starting to put up with it at work now because I work in a factory. It's fucking boiling during the summer. Like I like summer as well. I bloody love summer, but you know, like when it's hot, it's the worst thing ever, which is unfortunate, really unfortunate. But also, one thing to mention, we have, that's right, we have over 1,000 streams and downloads of the MastoCast, all 89, as I speak to you now on episode 90, we have reached 1,000 streams, which is fantastic. So, thank you very much, everyone who has listened to the MastoCast over the last couple of years. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Listen to me babble on about a bunch of shite and all that. And, every now and then someone will come to not come up to me, but every now and then I'll have a mate, message saying oh yeah, I've just been listening to your episode and all that, and you liked your review on such and such, and I agree with what you were saying on that, blah 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 blah. Stuff like that. It's just really nice. So thank you for listening still. I really appreciate you. And I didn't manage to I do gotta apologise as well. I didn't manage to get a episode done for Leeds Fest. I just didn't get around to doing it. But Leeds Festival was great. Limp Bizkit were the best. Bring Me the Horizon were really good. So a bit of Bill Murray. He, a little bit, literally 3 songs or something like that. He was good. Example, I don't really care for, but obviously Haley and Jade, who I was with there, obviously really enjoyed him. Who else did I watch? End It and Fleshwater, really good as well. End It and Fleshwater class, just on form as per usual. But yeah, that was a few weeks ago now. I don't think I'll be able to do a full on review of it, a few weeks later. So yeah, that happened, and it was great. But yeah, tell you what I have been up to though. Went to London last weekend and had a really good time. Stayed at our friends in St Albans, who were incredibly kind to have us there for the night. Well, 2 nights actually. Yeah, 2 nights. So we don't have to pay a ridiculous amount for train tickets to go from Darlington to London, because it is hella bloody expensive, man. It's really bloody expensive these days. So it is much cheaper to just drive to our lovely friends Amy and Joe at their house, stay over, and then get the train the next day, which is 15 quid for me and Haley. It's ideal. Really ideal. So yeah, thank you for them, by the way. Shout out them too. They're great. Lovely people. And so the reason why we were at London was to see Turnover play their 10-year-old album. 10 years old, my God. It does not feel like it's 10 years old, but to 10-year anniversary of Peripheral Vision. And I spoke about Turnover before on this podcast. Last year, was it? I think it was. Yeah, it was last year when me, Haley, Gilf, and Jade, we went to go see them at the Grove in Newcastle, and they'd just released their album. Was it called again? I think it was called um Beside Myself, was it? Sorry, Myself in the Way, which is an album I quite like. I quite like that album. It's good. Like Turnover have just completely gone on and done some interesting albums like after Peripheral Vision. Like they did Good Nature, which was more of a sort of similar album, but probably a bit more chill. And then went all together. And then Myself in the Way, like they got really really creative with like synthesizers and drum machines and stuff like that. Like just a really really cool really cool music, to be fair. Like I actually quite like some of their albums that they've brought out over the past few years. But yeah, Peripheral Vision is obviously the best one. It just is. We can all agree on that, can't we? So yeah, Peripheral Vision, been out 10 years, a 10 out of 10 album. I love that album, and a lot of people do also. So yeah, was very excited to see them, and the size of the venues that they're doing as well on this album run. Like we saw them at the Grove at Newcastle, which is like a couple of hundred people, and the rest of the tour was sort of like similar sized venues and stuff like that. But like, first of all, this was meant to be one London show. It was meant to be at the Roundhouse, and they sold that out instantly. And then it added a second London date at the O2 Forum Kentish Town, which is what we got tickets for. That sold out straight away. So we weren't expecting any more dates. When they added like a Leeds date and like some Irish dates and stuff like that, so I was like, oh great. So we still ended up going to London, which was great. Making the most of it. Like, went to the National Gallery. That was cool. That was interesting. Lots of painting, lots of art from like years and years and years ago, hundreds of years ago. Saw some Vincent van Gogh there. It was like quite cool to see. Had some lovely pizza from Purita, which is a vegan pizza place. Yum, 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 yum. It was very nice. Had a walk around Camden, which is my favourite part of London. I love Camden so much. It's great. And yeah, just had a few drinks and stuff like that, and soaked up the London atmosphere. It's not that often I go to London, to be honest. Like I haven't really been as much as most people at all. But when I go to London, I do quite enjoy it. But yeah, anyways, the gig that we are about to talk about now. So it was supported by Glixen. It was opened by Glixen. And let me just try and find the name of the other support band, because they have got quite a long name. So let me just get that up. But the first band, Glixen, they were a bit hard to hear, really. They were, more of like a shoegaze band, which is, I do like a bit of shoegaze here and there. It's all good, but like it sounded very very muddy to my ears in that venue, which was quite unfortunate. Like it just, like sometimes I feel like with that genre of music, you got to get like a good sort of I don't know, like a good ratio of like reverb and distortion, and I feel like there was a bit too much reverb. Like I wasn't hearing enough, clarity in the chords and stuff like that. It was very echoey, but like they weren't bad or anything. I just thought the sound was pretty off. And the next band, Wicker Phase Springs Eternal, which is a band I have not heard of up until the gig, and like we had balcony seats, so like I couldn't get a good view of who was in the band or anything like that, but they were an actual yeehaw country band, like more of the sort of like a sad sort of country band. Like honestly, like I was not expecting it. It was like 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 that, like proper. It wasn't like proper upbeat sort of country stuff, but like it was very sort of like slow country emo-ish sort of stuff. But apparently one of the members is from Tiger's Jaw, and I did not know that. It was thanks to my good friend Paul Guilford. He totally told me. I was like, what the fuck? I did not know that. But the sound for them was good. Like, they were a pretty good band. Their set went up really, really quick. And, yeah, they were alright. They were fine. It's not made me want to go listen to the music. I'm not really a country person. Excuse me. But, yeah, they were alright. They were alright. But, obviously, the night belonged to Turnover, celebrating Peripheral Vision. And I've seen Turnover a good few times over the years. Like, I've seen them, you know, when they released Peripheral Vision. Like, I've seen them do, like, a co-headline gig with Citizen, when Citizen had Everybody Goes to Heaven? I forgot the name of the album, but it's my favourite Citizen album anyways. And Peripheral Vision also came out, and I remember watching them at the Brudenell in Leeds and thinking, oh my god, this band, with this album out, live, is incredible. So I was very excited for this, of course. Seeing Turnover on a big stage as well was lovely. I mean, it's the first time I've seen them on a big stage since Outbreak 2023. But this is the best time I've ever seen Turnover. They sounded spot on. Absolutely spot on. They, of course, they opened up with Cutting My Fingers Off, the first track of Peripheral Vision. And right from there, right from the start, everybody in that room were singing their hearts out. Like it was, you could just hear the band and the whole crowd, like, just completely sing along throughout the whole album. Like, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. You know, it was absolutely amazing, and just like, oh, it's such a. If you haven't heard this album before, just listen to it. Like, it's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful album, and to hear it live in full was truly special. Really, really special. Like, a couple of, like, lump and throat moments and stuff like that. You know, Dizzy on the Come Down, beautiful song. A song that me and Haley hold very dear to our hearts. And, you know, New Screams, Interpersonal, and Take My Head, my god, I love that song so much. Yeah, it was incredible, and like, obviously, once I played the album in full, they played a bunch of new songs as well. I know they played Humblest Pleasures, which was like a single that came out after Peripheral Vision. They played that. They played Supernatural, which is a song I really do enjoy off that album that came out afterwards. But they played a couple of new tracks as well, but from what the sounds of it was, and they kind of sounded very Peripheral Vision-esque. Like, so I wonder if, the next album they're going to be dropping the whole loungy sound with the keys and all that sort of stuff, and go for, sort of hark back to, like, Peripheral Vision or Supernatural, that sort of stuff. But, like, very, 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 the sound is pretty cool from what I can remember. They played, like, a couple from the latest album, Myself in the Way, and one from Magnolia. And actually, yeah, they finished with a song from Magnolia, which, like, they finished with most of the time from that album. Like, I'm not actually too familiar with Magnolia, because I believe, like, Magnolia is, like, a more sort of pop punk-ish type thing, rather than, like, the, post-punky emo sort of stuff that they do now, like, well, on Peripheral Vision. But they finished with that, and the crowd went fucking mental. People were crowd surfing the lot, getting over the barrier and singing really, really loud. Yeah, most of the time was really, really lovely to see. And, like, they hadn't played anything from Magnolia for probably, since before Peripheral Vision came out. I'm pretty sure, like, before when Peripheral Vision came out, I don't think they touched any Magnolia. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But, obviously for this tour, they probably just turned around and just thought, well, for those who were with us for Peripheral Vision days, you might have been there before that, and the finish of Most of the Time from Magnolia. So yeah, that was truly special, truly special. Yeah, it was a fantastic gig. It was great. I loved it. Shout out Turnover, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next. Really, as I always am, because I think Turnover are great. They're a fantastic band, and yeah, that was it. Basically, that's been it for gigs over the past couple of weeks. Really, but yeah, I have been playing some new Metal Gear Solid though. Metal Gear Solid Delta, in fact, which is out now. It came out actually on, when was it? I think it was the 28th of October. No, sorry, August even. 28th of August it came out. And, you know, I've spoke about my excitement for this remake and stuff like that. So, like, you know, obviously I had to go get it. I got the Deluxe Edition, which is very lovely. And, yeah. Very good. It's very good, I've got to say. Metal Gear Solid 3, man. I mean, I should probably talk about my love for Metal Gear Solid 3 before I get into the remake itself, really. So, I've loved this game ever since... Well, not since it came out, really. Like, I never actually played it on day one, back in 2004. I actually got it when I was at college for, like... So, like, 5 years later, or something like that. But, like, the first time I played this game, I absolutely adored it. It is, like, up there, like, one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Like, probably... Probably top 5 favourite PlayStation 2 games. And, you know, when we find out that we've got a remake, a fucking remake for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is now titled Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, I jumped on it and got it straight away. And, you know, I've played through it, completed it, because I know that game off the back of my hand, pretty much the original. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with it. You know, I'm very, very familiar with Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, the original. I've played it a lot of times, so coming on to this, it was... You gotta say, like, it looks absolutely stunning. It looks really, really lovely. It is a lovely game to look at. It is pretty much like if you were to A/B this, like, side by side, it next to each other. Basically, it just looks like, you know, all the cutscenes are exactly the same. All of the, you know, the map is the same. Everything, all the weapons are the same. Enemies are the same. Voice acting hasn't really changed. Only thing that's changed really is the complete overhaul of the graphics, really, that they've done through Unreal Engine 5, and yeah, it looks stunning. It looks great. There are some performance issues, I will have to say, which is kind of disappointing. You know, like, this game, like obviously it looks great, it looks fantastic. It's not the most demanding game playing on the PS5. I don't think it is. It does stutter on the frame rate, you know. Like, I picked the performance thing. I picked performance modes, which you should be guaranteed, you know, 1080p with 60 frames per second. It does dip quite a bit, and when you have, you know, when you've got a game and it gives you the option for performance mode, and it lists down 1080p 60 frames per second, it better bloody deliver. But, you know, in some instances it does. Quite a lot of instances it doesn't, like in particular boss fights or whatever, or certain areas, even in cutscenes. Like, this is happening in cutscenes, and I just think, man, like, Konami's, like, quality control is a bit shit sometimes. Like, how are you putting out this game that is fucking 20 years old up-resing it, but like still losing out on the performance bit side of things. I tried it on graphics mode, like to see how much different it was. Like it looked nicer, but the fucking frame rate was still shit. Like especially like playing some of the bosses like not the Fear. What's his other one called? Like the Pain, the Sorrow, that sort of stuff. Like it does get a bit rough. Having said that, it's not like enough to be like, oh my god, it's unplayable or anything like that. It's just one of those things that it happens every now and then, and it's a bit like, that's a bit of a shame. But I will say, it's just such a good game that it didn't bother me that much, like playing through the actual game itself, because I just love Snake Eater. It's amazing, looks class. The just performance issues are a bit shit. And and they've done some like quality of life improvements as well, like made like the like the options for like choosing your camouflage and like getting like the medic up and like the codec, all that sort of stuff. Like it's been sort of simplified and like made it a bit more ergonomic. You can just access it off a button rather than having to pause your game and then getting back into it. So yeah, there's a few like quality of life sort of stuff that's happened in there, which is really nice, really nice. Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was great to play. All the character models look really, really nice. I think they re-recorded the theme. I think they re-recorded the vocals because I don't know, like the timing's a bit weird on it. So yeah, I mean it sounds good, but it's different. I was like, why did you even do that? You shouldn't have to do that. But yeah, the game's good. I don't think it's £70 good. Like if you had to buy it brand new, like on its own, I don't think it's £75 new, because the remake doesn't actually do anything new. When you think of like the remakes we get from like Silent Hill 2 or Resident Evil 4, those sort of games or whatever, like they completely revamped them and how you play them. They're completely different to the original, whereas this isn't that different to the original. I think I still prefer the original Metal Gear Solid 3 though. I think I do. I kind of like that sort of darker filter. You can kind of sense like the humidity of the jungle through it all, if that makes sense. And just like I've never complained about the performance of the original, really. I just really, really like it on the PlayStation 2. But hopefully, I mean, they are still sending patches to update, like updating the game, that sort of thing. Which, fucking hell, they should not have to do this, like, when releasing the game. I don't know what the fuck is happening with gaming now at the moment. Is a game even complete yet? When, when they're sending it out for people to buy. Like, get your shit together, man. Get your shit together. But yeah, personally, I would recommend it, but wait until it goes on sale or something like that, because look, it's not a long game either. You can probably complete it in about 10 hours, right? The performance needs a bit of work. It looks class. Obviously the story's great, but it's a remake of an old game. It should not cost that much, especially when you got games like Expedition 33 out that are just way better. That only cost like 40 quid when it came out. And I've talked about how good Expedition 33 is on here. It's amazing. So let's talk about Nintendo Direct. We had a Nintendo Direct, which is always fun to talk about on here. I'm very, very excited. Very excited to sort of speak about it, really. I'm just going to get the whole list up. But yeah, after I played Metal Gear Solid Delta, I'm still grinding away a little bit with Tears of the Kingdom. No, sorry, not Tears of the Kingdom. Fucking what's it called? Wind Waker. That's the one. Why did I say Tears of the Kingdom? I finished Tears of the Kingdom ages ago. Yeah. Anyways, Wind Waker. I'm playing that. Sorry, I've not only just finished work. I'm knackered. But yeah, I finished Metal Gear Solid. I'm playing Wind Waker, and I've just started Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which I am very impressed with so far. I never finished the first one, but because this one looks really, really good, my batteries have died on my mouse. Fuck's sakes. Oh, God. Hopefully. Do I have batteries in this drawer? I think I do. But I'm just going to keep talking. I'm just going to keep talking while I do this. Anyways, yeah, I thought I'd start Death Stranding 2 because I've heard nothing but good things about the game. And it looks stunning. It's like looked really, really good. Like on the lead up to its release and all that. When I've been looking at all the trailers, so I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna try it out because like the demo is free for PlayStation Premium subscribers, which is me. So I thought I'm gonna have a piece of that. Let's fucking have it. So, I do not have any batteries in here, so that's unfortunate. So yeah, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct and not everything that got announced. The Direct was okay, a few good stuff, a lot of sort of whatever, and some just like interesting, really. I'm just going to pick out some highlights here. I won't go from like the very start or anything like that. So like, I've literally just got the IGN website up to sort of, you know, summarize, go through some stuff that I think is quite good. But yeah, let's start from the top. So first things first, and this is one that I'm very, very excited for, and that is Metroid Prime 4 has a release date, and it is the 4th of December of this year. I'm very excited for this. It looks great. The trailers all look fantastic, and I loved the Metroid Prime remaster that came out a couple of years ago. So, you know, I've not actually played Metroid Prime 2 and 3, but you know, I can't imagine it being that much of a like I've not heard people say like you got to play Metroid 2 and 3 before you get onto this. But it looks fucking great. It looks really, really good. So yeah, they showed like a bit of they showed a bit of footage, and there was like of Samus. Like the first thing we saw was like Samus was riding like a motorcycle called the Viola. Yeah, like it actually get actual gameplay being on a motorcycle, and I was like, huh, this looks interesting. What's this? And then gets off the motorcycle and then back onto the whole, you know, first person shooter that of Metroid Prime. I was like, oh my god, this is part of Metroid Prime 4. This is great. So that's happening. 4th of December it's coming out, and they've also released like a visual retrospective book to hit the store shelves on October 28th for concept drawings, behind the scenes illustrations, and more. Basically of Metroid Prime from 1 to 3, which is quite cool. There's a new Fire Emblem game coming out called Fortune's Weave. This is what they ended the Nintendo Direct with, which I was a bit like, okay, I'm not really a big Fire Emblem person, but I know a lot of people who are really, really into it. Donkey Kong Bonanza has a DLC, which is DK Island and Emerald Rush. I don't think it's, you know, all that story-based or anything like that. It's just like an extra part of the map. I've still not played this game yet. Still not played it. I really, really do want to play it, though, because it looks fucking great, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. But yeah, there is a new DLC. I don't know if it's out now. Is it out now? I think it must be out now, because there's no date for it. But, you know, it's a paid DLC, so you got to pay for it. I don't know how much, though. I think it's like $20 if you're American. there's a couple of Pokemon things, really. There's a Pokemon Pokopia, which kind of looks like it's like an Animal Crossing type, like sort of twist on a Pokemon game. You're basically playing as a Ditto that is taking like a human form, and you use that Ditto to command Pokemon to help create your fucking farm or whatever, like land. Like, you use Bulbasaur to help grow grass. You use Squirtle to water your plants. You have Charizard to set shit on fire and stuff like that. It's not for me. It's not for me. Like these cozy games, like not for me really. I imagine a lot of people might come onto this and really enjoy it. But nah, Pokemon Pokopia, not for me. Launches in 2026. No specific date or anything. We should talk about the 40th anniversary of Mario, because I will say that the Direct started off with about 20 minutes of Mario stuff, as it is the 40th anniversary, which is very, very cool. That they were talking about a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the exhibitions that they've got at the Nintendo Museum and stuff like that in Kyoto, where they're going to be showing off some, illustrations and like actual artwork on the lead up to the first Mario coming out, like all of the sketches and everything, which looks really, really cool. I'd love to see that, but I don't live in Japan, so I can't see it. And and I think they announced some more Nintendo, like Super Mario worlds in like the Universal Studios parks place. Like there's one in Orlando, Florida, that's going to be open. So there's that, which is cool. We have a trailer for Super Mario Galaxy, the movie. So we have like a little teaser trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, made by Illustration again, which is really, really cool. I loved the fucking movie. I thought it was great, so I am very, very excited to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which arrives in April 2026. And we also get the Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2 re-release, which is coming over to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. So basically, they ported over this game onto Nintendo Switch and 2. And not much different to go on here. So it's both bundled on the Switch, October the 2nd, 2025, both physically and digitally. So if you want to get this on physical, I imagine that will be a good idea. It comes with a new Rosalina storybook pages, like a bit more, a bit more sort of looking inside like the storybook, and it's also actual physical storybook you can get, but like there's there's no guide or anything. There's no way of finding where to get it from. Both titles will feature improved UI, the choice to play with the button and stick or mush controls, which is good. All-in-game music player, enhanced resolution. On Switch 2, a free update will bring that resolution up to 4K, which is really cool. Like, I mean, I love Super Mario Galaxy, the game on Nintendo Wii. I played that for the first time last year. Super Mario Galaxy 2, I have not played yet, so this is something potentially I could have a go on. But yeah, Super Mario Galaxy coming to the Switch. Why not? But yeah, it's cool for any of you Super Mario people out there. If you've not played it though for the first time, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite Super Mario 3D experiences. I think Odyssey is my favorite, but I think Galaxy might be number 2 for me. Some more Mario stuff. We got Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which is like a 2D platformer Yoshi game. I've never played the Yoshi games before. But it looks more like a children's game. Looks pretty nice graphics and stuff, but not particularly for me. And I think that isn't it. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, as well as a bit of DLC going on there. Like it's more to do. It's more to do with like I believe, like it's more like multiplayer DLC, which I'm not too bothered about. There's a physical version of the flower from Super Mario Wonder, which you can buy in spring 2026. But bloody hell, yeah. Actually, the Super Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition isn't getting released until spring 2026, which is quite far away. I mean, it's probably all in tied with the Super Mario Galaxy movie or whatever, but I don't know. That seems like such a long time to announce something like that. And also, Mario Tennis Fever launches February 2026, and looks all right. I've never played any of the Mario Tennis games before, but it looks quite fun. Looks good. You have different tennis rackets that have different powers, all that sort of stuff. They showed off. Now this is quite interesting. Like they showed off a bit of Pokemon Legends CA, which is the new Pokemon that is coming out in October. It's like a 3D Pokemon. It's coming out on Switch and Switch 2, October 16th. And what they showed here is an actual paid DLC. Like, before the game's even come out yet, and I thought it was strange. Why are you showing off a paid DLC before the game's even out? Which I think is a bit weird. It's a bit dodgy. It's the DLC is called Mega Dimension, which stars Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y, which are different evolutions. Like, I've kind of fell off Pokemon after Ruby and Sapphire. I played the Diamond remake that came out a few years ago, which is that's quite good, but really, I feel like all these different variations of Pokemon and stuff like that as of late, and making 3D, I'm not bothered about it, to be honest. I just think it's weird that they're announcing like a paid DLC before the game's even out. So like, if you want that DLC and the game when it comes out, you're gonna be paying a lot of money. Not great. Let's see what else. Hades 2 gets its official release date for the Switch on September 25th. I've heard nothing but good things about that game. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate makes its way to the Switch in January 22nd, 2026. If you haven't played that game yet, do give it a go. It's really, really good. How it performs on the Switch, I don't know. But the Final Fantasy VII Remake's really, really good. And then once you do that, get Rebirth, and Rebirth's also really bloody good. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. A lot of people are stoked about that. Stardew Valley is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which adds mouse control and co-op. Really cool for all you Stardew Valley lovers out there. Just scroll past a few things that I'm just not all that bothered about. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection gets Switch release dates, and it comes out digitally on October 30th and physically December 12th. That's quite cool, sort of going back to all of those old school Mortal Kombat games. Fatal Frame 2 is getting a remake, the Crimson Butterfly. I've never played the Fatal Frame games, but like they've always like struck me as something that looks really cool. These games come from like the PlayStation 2 era, and any of those like sort of Japanese horror games tend to go for quite a lot of money everywhere. But the fact that it's getting like a remake is quite cool, I think. Power Wash Simulator 2, the Power Wash Simulator 2 is making its way onto the Switch 2. 38 new jobs to undertake. So Power Wash Simulator, like the first one, Power Wash Simulator is a good time. So, and a lot of people really like this game. It's very popular with like the streaming community. So if you're stoked about that, I can totally believe you. It's quite a satisfying game to play. No release date. It just says Power Wash Simulator 2. But that'll be cool. That'll be pretty cool for sure. Let's see. Oh god, I'm tired. I do apologize. That's it. Really, that is pretty much it. So yeah, that was Nintendo Direct. Some good stuff in there. Some sort of like not too bothered. Not the best Nintendo. I was kind of expecting a little bit better, and I'm quite surprised. Like with being the 40th anniversary of Mario, like we didn't get like, I don't know, Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube NSO or something like that, or even like a brand new Switch 2, like a 40th anniversary Super Mario Switch 2, like in a different colorway. Because at the moment we've only just got the black one, and I feel like that would really benefit them. Like, because like the Switch that I've got, the first Switch that I've got, like that's a Super Mario 35th anniversary one. It's like a really nice red all the way around. I'm quite surprised it didn't do anything like that for the Switch 2, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and yeah, that's it really. That is kind of tired. I do apologize. Yeah, so that's it. Do listen to a couple of albums that I'm going to recommend you right now. Fleshwater, their album is called 2000 In Search of the Endless Sky. Fleshwater, I love this band. They're back now with a new album after 2 or 3 years, and their debut album I absolutely adore. But yeah, this album's just a bit of a more of a straightforward type of listen. It's not as dark as the previous one, but they've definitely upped the game with vocal performances and that sort of thing. But it's a good album. I think I prefer the debut though. I think the debut is the best one. But yeah, this album is really growing on me. It's cool. Yeah, a new Freshwater album. It's called 2000 In the Search of the Endless Sky. And another album I've got to talk to you about, I've got to recommend you this. It is Wrong Side of Heaven by a band called End It. This is a full-on, live, rocking, hardcore music from a fucking mint band. No fucking around, just proper, hard-hitting, like, live as shit. Like, proper, huge-sounding hardcore stuff, like, very, very punky. And, like just very, very scrappy. One song in particular, it's called Could You Love Me? Contender for Song of the Year. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Like, it's just got this amazing vocal hook all the way through this song. It's the longest song on the album. It's 3 minutes and 16 seconds, while the rest of it, like, a minute and a half. You got one song that's 54 seconds long, one that's 37, one that's 21, one that's 2 minutes 14, one that's 2 minutes 36. Very short songs, but like, it's 15 songs, it's 22 minutes long. Highly recommend it. But this song, Could You Love Me, is incredible. Like, it's just got such a mint vocal melody to it. But yeah, that is it. Thank you very much for listening to the MastoCast. I'll be back